And now, the continuing story of Another World.
I thought I kissed you goodbye an hour ago.
Well, I guess you're just going to have to kiss me again.
Oh,
Oh,
rats.
shucks.
Have you decided not to go to the complex today?
I just that minute almost decided. Complex. No, I made one phone call, just one, and that led to another one, and then one more, and on and on and on.
Well, I don't mind.
Sure.
I'm sure. You know, you could run your whole complex right here from the house, and I would love it. Only trouble is, I have a feeling that Amanda and I might ruin your concentration.
You know, I think you're probably right. I don't know why I think that, though. Where's our darling daughter? How is she?
3 guesses.
Checking the chicks.
Right, you win a prize.
Is she out there all by herself, though?
No, Vivian's with her.
That Vivian, she sure made a change in our little family, didn't she?
Yes, she certainly did. She's wonderful. She's a little unusual, but she's one. Guess what? We got a letter from Brooks and Louise, except I left it downstairs.
How are they?
Okay, but they miss us.
I miss them.
So do I. I'm going to write them this afternoon.
Good. Give them my love.
Mm-hmm.
But don't mention the chickens. I'm sure Louise would be horrified.
Oh, you're probably right.
You're feeling much better today,
Yes,
aren't you?
I am.
I was so worried about you.
I'm fine.
After all that emotional outburst about Harry must... Yes, okay. Subject closed. I'm so tempted. Why do your eyes light up like that? To go outside and watch Amanda with the chickens.
Oh, is that all? Well, do you really have to go to work today?
I'm afraid I do. It's such a lovely day. I'd like to stay outside.
Yeah. I got some better ideas. You know what? The rain really did cool it off, just the way you said it would. That's nice.
It didn't cool me off. Yes, if it's this pleasant, Miranda will probably serve us dinner around her pool.
Oh, is that tonight?
Had you forgotten? But you're looking forward to it?
Well, it'll be nice to see Joey and Kid, I guess.
Do I sense it? But on the other hand...
But on the other hand, I don't think I'm very fond of Miranda Bishop.
Grace, you don't need to get into the act, too. I don't need any more marriage counseling, but thanks anyway.
Well, suppose we just talk then.
What for?
Because you're my sister-in-law and I feel very close to you.
You won't in a week or so. Larry has his way.
Oh, honey, Larry's all confused about all this.
He doesn't seem very confused to me. Sure expressed his opinion clearly enough.
Suppose you explain these things to me.
Jerry and I are through. That's it.
Oh, you can't just stand there and let this happen.
It's already happened, Clarice.
But maybe I can help you figure something out.
I've already figured out. Just don't waste your time, okay?
But Jerry's been so good to you, Blaine. And since your marriage, you kind of found yourself, you know. You've shown a Blaine that some of us didn't even know was there. Isn't that what we're trying to say?
Clarice, don't do this.
Don't do what?
Say those nice things.
But they're true.
No,
Yes,
they're
yes.
not true. Are you all right?
Yeah. You better put these away before you trip on them, too.
Sorry, this place is such a mess. I went out last night.
You went out last night?
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the arena last night. It's really a great place. It's lots of fun. There's big rooms for gambling.
Listen,
and there's
I
a place
don't
you
want
can
to
bet
hear
on
about that now.
Thought you'd be interested.
I'm interested in what happened between you and Jerry.
We're through. That is what happened.
But good marriages don't end for no reason.
Yeah, well, maybe this marriage just wasn't as good as everybody thought it was, huh?
Blaine, I know Jerry loves you, and I'm sure you love him, too.
Yes, Clarice. All right, I love Jerry.
Well, but then there's hope.
there is no hope.
You can't just give up without a fight.
I don't have any other choice, Clarice.
You said you loved Jerry, right? What's wrong? Why won't you fight for your marriage? I want an answer, Blaine.
Maybe I just don't love Jerry enough.
Is that a good enough answer for you, Clarice?
Alvaro's gonna wonder what's happened to you.
Rachel,
What?
nothing.
Mr. Corey, I am so glad you haven't left yet.
Something wrong?
No, I was wondering if I could hitch a ride in town with you and Alvaro because I just talked to the feed and grain store and some chicks I ordered have arrived this morning.
Vivian, where is Amanda?
She's with the stable boy. She's watering the horses. You don't mind if I just go into town just for a little while?
No, of course I don't mind.
Yes, you can hitch a ride with me.
I am so excited. These are my first Rhode Island Reds.
Rhode Island Reds are very good for eating, aren't they? Frying? Good frying chickens.
Mr. Corey, I have made a pact with Amanda that we are never to eat these chickens. I will go and get my pocketbook, and I will return shortly.
Oh,
Oh,
Mac.
yes. Now I remember. In just a few years, we'll be running this home for retired chickens. You don't mind, do you?
No, if that's what Amanda and Vivian want. I'll walk you out to the car.
What gives me the feeling that you're trying to get rid of me?
Well, I figure that the sooner you leave, the sooner you'll come back.
You've got all the answers, haven't you? I'll call if I'm going to be late.
Okay.
Let's see, we were supposed to be at Miranda Bishop's about, what, 7:30?
Yep.
You know, you surprised me with your comment about her.
I did?
I had no idea you felt that way.
Well, I don't know her that well.
But you've always been so gracious to her.
Well, I try to be polite to everyone.
Do you find it difficult to be polite to her?
Yes, sometimes I do, but I manage.
Tell me why you don't like her.
It's just a hunch I have.
Hunch?
Well, you know the way I get about people.
Yeah, but she's always seemed to be a very charming woman to me, and I know that she's given every indication she wants to be your friend.
Well, we'll see.
Listen, your feelings have to be based on something more than a hunch now, aren't they?
Yeah, but I don't want to go into it with you.
I wish you would.
Do you want to talk to anybody?
I'd much rather finish this conversation.
Hello? Hi, Mom. It's all right, darling. It's for me. You can go now. Mom? No, it's okay. It's just Mac.
I'm ready when you are, Mr. Corey. Goodbye, Mrs. Corey.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, Mom? I did? Oh, well, it was just Mac and I were talking about somebody I don't like very much, that's all. Miranda Bishop. We've been invited over there for dinner tonight, and I'm less than thrilled. Well, he likes her, and I don't. Oh, I think I have every reason not to like her. Well, every time I'm around her, she drops these hints about Mitch, most especially when Mac's around, too. She's done it plenty of times. I don't know if she has a malicious motive or what's the reason she does it.
Blaine had a visitor while I was there yesterday.
Who was it?
Jordan Scott. He's obviously the guy in Blaine's life now.
Do you know who he is?
You bet I do.
He's a rough customer, Jerry.
What do you know about him?
He was run out of Vegas because he wasn't clean enough.
Yeah, well, he's just clean enough to set up and operate the arena in the unincorporated part of Bay City.
Well, it's his operating with Blaine that I'm worried about.
You knew he's the guy she's been seeing, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew.
How'd you find out?
It's not important now.
She said she didn't sleep with him.
I'm sure she told you the truth, Jerry.
It may have been the truth yesterday, but I don't know how long it will be.
Well, that's up to Blaine, isn't it?
Jordan Scott's not the type to waste any time, Mom.
I know that.
And Blaine's not either.
Maybe in some matters, but not in this, Jerry.
You should have seen how friendly she was with Jordan yesterday.
That doesn't mean she's going to sleep with him, honey.
Look, she's free to do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, but I don't think that a personal involvement with Jordan Scott is what Blaine wants.
You still want to see us get back together, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But I think Blaine has trapped herself somehow with this Jordan Scott guy.
Oh, Mom, I think she went into that with her eyes wide open.
You know, you might not feel that way if you knew what I know about him.
I know all I want to.
When I was living in Vegas, I had a friend named Hildy Lefevre. She was in the line with me at the Palace.
And she fell in love with Jordan, right?
No, he fell in love with her. I never could really tell whether she loved him or whether she was just afraid not to go out with him. Anyway, I saw a lot of him because he used to pick her up all the time after the show.
What'd he do, make a pass at you or something?
He killed Hildy.
He killed her.
She was found floating face down in a swimming pool. The official story was suicide, but
Yeah, well, maybe it was suicide.
no. She wasn't the type. She had big plans for herself.
Well, people change, Mom.
Jordan might have had somebody else do it, but I'm sure that he's responsible for her death.
Well, did you tell the police that?
I didn't need to. They already knew it.
Did they arrest the guy?
No, they couldn't prove anything.
Why do you suppose he wanted her killed?
Maybe he was jealous, or maybe she knew too much about his operations.
Or maybe it was just suicide.
Jerry, the man is clever and he is dangerous. If you care at all for Blaine, you have got to not let her see him anymore.
What? Now, how am I supposed to stop her?
By telling her that you really want to work on this marriage.
Blaine doesn't want that. I'm not sure that I do either.
Jerry, you can't let your pride...
It's not pride, Mom. If you'd heard the way she talked to me yesterday, you wouldn't be defending her now.
Why? What did she say?
She said that life with me wasn't exciting enough. She said that I was making her old before her time. And I'm glad she let it all out, because now I realize she never did love me.
Oh, Jerry, I don't believe that.
Well, you'd believe it if you'd heard her. She said that she was never really any good. That I could check it out with her ex-husband, Jamie Frame, or his mother, Rachel Corey, that they'd tell me the same thing.
Jerry, maybe Blaine is trying to send up some kind of a smokescreen.
No, Mom, I think it was the first time in months that Blaine's been honest with me.
You could try doing what she suggested and talk to Jamie and talk to Mrs. Corey.
Yeah, I thought of that. I just can't, Mom.
No, I suppose you can't. But I can.
Oh, yes. Larry? Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Clarice again, too. All right, bye-bye. There we go.
Randy, you're wonderful. Do you know that? Throw this dinner party for Kit and Joey?
Well, I just want to make sure that I've included all the really good friends. Darling, would you check this guest list for me?
Sure. Want me to pour you some more iced tea?
Oh, no, I'll do it. Oh, I hope Mary's remembered to call that liquor store.
Listen, I'll be happy to pick up whatever you need.
No. It's much better to have everything delivered.
You seem a little nervous about this party.
Oh, what? Well, you know me. I'm just always so concerned that my guests will have a good time.
Oh, Miranda, you're a marvelous hostess. Everybody will have a wonderful time.
Thank you, darling. Taylor, how is Ellen?
She's about the same.
Oh, well, you know that silly new nurse of hers wouldn't let me speak to her the other day?
Did you tell her you were Ellen's sister?
Well, of course I told her that, and she said she could not be disturbed.
What time did you call her?
I know, sometime late in the afternoon.
Try again in the morning.
Oh, all right. How did she seem?
Well, she was quiet, but a little disoriented.
Did she know it was you that was calling?
Yes. But she She thinks the children are still small. She asked me how they were doing in summer camp.
Taylor, that is just awful. How do you answer her when she thinks something like that?
I told her they were having a wonderful time.
Do you think that's wise?
That's what the doctor suggested I do.
Oh, I see. I'm glad you told me.
So listen, when you do speak to her, just go along with whatever she says, all right?
Yes, of course I will.
She's reasonably happy, Miranda. That's about all we can hope for now.
I feel so guilty.
Why?
Because my sister is retreating from reality.
Well, it's certainly not your fault.
No, I know that.
Then there's no reason to feel guilty.
Just because I've been in love with her husband for several years.
Do you regret being in love with me? Nor do I. But in some ways, you know, as friends, our relationship's even better.
I tried to call you last night, darling, and you weren't in.
Why didn't you leave a message?
Well, it wasn't really important. I just wanted to discuss the party with you.
Well, I would have called you back.
I assumed that you were all tied up with the research lab.
No. As a matter of fact, I was having dinner with Gwen Frame.
Business?
Well, with that lady, it's impossible not to discuss business. She's so enthusiastic.
How nice.
That's paid off for her. Her company's one of the finest in this part of the country.
You're very fond of her, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Isn't her husband still down there in Australia?
Yes.
I thought that she went down there to be with him.
Well, she did. But she had to come back to take care of some business matters.
Oh. Is she going back down there soon?
I think Gwen has some problems about just packing up and going to Australia.
I hope you're not the problem, darling.
Of course not. She's just put a lot of time and effort into making that company what it is, and she's reluctant to just walk away from it.
Of course.
What else can I do to help you with your party?
I just want you to come here and have a really good time.
Mitch Blake's coming tonight?
Yes, he is. Why do you sound so surprised?
Why'd you invite him?
Oh, because I want to have a lot of interesting people for Kid and Joey. And I think he's a personal friend of Rachel's. And Max.
Do you think these memos could be distributed this afternoon?
Oh, I'm sure Joanne can get it done.
Joanne?
Yes, Becky. Gwen has an appointment with you this morning.
Yes, I know. Liz,
Yes, something else?
you seem rather distracted and depressed. What's bothering
Oh, nothing.
you? No, come on now. We've been friends for years. I know when something's worrying you.
Well, it's Jim. I'm very worried about him.
Jim Matthews?
I suppose when men reach a certain age, their heads can easily be turned by a pretty face.
That can happen before a certain age. You know?
Well, it becomes a much more dangerous situation when that pretty face is attached to a showgirl's body.
Is this a young woman, Liz?
Well, she is a mother.
How old a mother?
She has a grown son.
Well, that doesn't sound like too dangerous a situation to me for Jim to handle.
You men have an unwritten code. Stick together at all costs. You can go in now.
What's the matter with Liz?
She'll be all right. Sit down.
Thank you. Looks like she has big troubles.
Well, I know the cause of those troubles. Margot Grove is a very nice woman.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I think I'll let it pass.
Best that way. It's a complicated story.
I'm sure it is.
What's on your mind?
Well, Willis is, actually.
Oh?
Yeah. Listen, I hate to seem like the kind of wife that goes behind her husband's back with his boss, but...
Is that what you're doing now?
Well, I think so, Mac, but I don't seem to have any choice. You see, I have some personal decisions to make, but I can't do that until I find out how Willis is handling his new job.
Oh, I can understand that. Well, as you know, I think, the Australian operation was in quite a decline when Willis took it over.
Yes, I believe you mentioned that.
So it's going to be a year or two before we realize any profit there.
Oh, you mean it's too soon to tell how he's doing?
I think it may be a little soon, although he has reorganized several departments. And he told me just this morning that he had lined up several very exciting Australian writers for Corey Publishers.
So you feel he's off to a good start, at least?
It looks like a very promising beginning, Gwen.
Do you foresee the possibility of his coming back to Bay City in the near future?
I'll tell you the truth. He seems very enthusiastic about turning things around there. I think he's going to want to stay and see it through.
Okay, Mac. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. It's been a help.
Giving up your construction company, that must be quite a dilemma for you.
Well, I can't very well run it from Australia, can I?
You really made extraordinary progress in just such a short time.
Thanks. You know, I longed so for success. It's kind of hard to believe that it's brought me all these problems.
Couldn't you be just as much of a success in Australia?
I don't know. If I could, it would take at least 2 or 3 years.
You're the impatient type.
Well, that's part of it.
How's the marriage?
Well, I guess I thought you were aware of the fact that it's been pretty well on the rocks for at least 6 months, Mac.
Yeah, but you know, every married couple has problems from time to time.
Yeah, but Willis and I seem to have more than our share.
Yeah, I know it sometimes seems that way.
I guess loving a man and living with him are 2 entirely different things.
I guess you're right, but I'm glad to know that you do love Willis, that there's not someone else in your life.
No, of course there's nobody else. Except it is... Well, I am enjoying the rest.
Rest?
Willis can tear me up inside sometimes, Mac. Of course, he says I do the same for him, but... I must say it is nice to get a compliment every once in a while without a lot of sarcasm behind it.
Thank you for seeing me on such short notice.
Well, my daughter's down for a nap, so I have about an hour or so sleep.
Thank you. I met your mother, Mrs. Hobson.
Oh, yes. She said that you'd moved here from Las Vegas.
Yes, that's right.
I must say I'm puzzled as to why you wanted to see me.
It's about Blaine.
Oh.
She and Jerry have separated.
Yes, Mom said that they were having some trouble.
I don't like to think it's final. Jerry says it is.
Well, he would know, wouldn't he?
Well, I was hoping that you could give me some sort of an insight into Blaine.
Oh, brother. Why me?
Actually, it was her idea.
It was?
Yes, she told Jerry that she'd never been any good and that you and Jamie could verify that.
Yes, I can.
I take it you didn't approve of her marriage to your son.
That's an understatement.
Do you mind if I ask why?
You really want to hear all this?
Yes, I really do.
I never thought Blaine loved Jamie.
Well, apparently he thought so.
Yes, well, he was very young and impressionable, and Blaine can make a very good impression when she wants to.
Well, why do you think she married him?
Well, you know about the ranch, don't you?
Yes, she grew up there.
Well, Jamie spent a summer working there. And I think Blaine saw him as a first-class ticket out of there.
Did they have problems right from the very beginning?
Yes. I didn't do much to help.
Because you disapproved of her?
I tried everything I could to get Blaine away from Jamie.
That's quite an admission.
Well, I have a lot to be ashamed of it in that period of my life.
Well, do you think if you hadn't interfered, the marriage would have lasted?
No, I don't think it would have lasted. I was so busy protecting my son, I wasn't going to leave anything to chance.
Well, I can understand that.
I also didn't think Blaine's marriage to Jerry would last.
Why not?
I just don't think the girl is capable of loving anyone.
But she was very young when she married your son.
Yes, I know, and most people believed that she'd changed a lot by the time she married Jerry. I'm sorry for Jerry, but...
Do you think he's better off without Blaine?
Yes. If the marriage is over, why are you so interested in finding out about Blaine?
Well, you're probably the last person in the world who'd believe this, but I think Blaine is capable of love. And I think she loves my son.
You're right. I'm the last person who would believe that.
It's strange that Blaine would tell Jerry to ask you and Jamie about how dreadful she was.
Yes, it is strange. And obviously she wants out of the marriage.
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, $2.95. You have anything smaller than 20?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, okay.
I have a big problem.
Even with your husband out of your life?
Yes.
Hit me with it.
I want Buzz out of my life, too.
And now the next part of Another World.
Okay.
Buzz, have a
Good to
nice
see you.
afternoon.
Adios.
How come you never smile when I stop by?
I save my smiles for the customers.
Afraid you run out?
Maybe. How's things at the arena?
Okay.
Lots of action?
Enough. But that's not what I came to talk to you about.
Sure, what's on your mind?
Your future with the organization.
My future?
We got plans for you, Buzz.
I'm listening.
The first thing you have to do is write your parole officer out west and get permission to leave Bay City.
Where am I going?
San Francisco.
San Francisco?
You got something against San Francisco?
Well, no, but I ain't never been there before.
Well, here's your big chance.
What, do you want me to run drugs or something?
No.
Well, then what's in San Francisco for me?
Your new home.
When did you want me to move?
As soon as you get permission from your parole officer. So write the letter and mail it this afternoon.
What's the big rush?
You get an order, you follow it. No question.
Well, I'm gonna have to ask one or two.
No question.
I'll never get permission to leave unless I tell my parole officer where I'll be working. He's got to check it out.
Here's the address, the owner's name, and his telephone number.
What's this, another newsstand?
That's right, just like this one.
Well, that's kind of dumb, ain't it?
The organization doesn't think so.
Well, I mean, if I was getting a promotion or
Oh, you
something.
can consider it a promotion if you want to. I don't care.
But I'll be doing the same thing, right?
That's right.
Well, then what's the point of moving?
Think what a change of scene will do for you.
Yeah, sure.
Now, here's your ticket. One way. You expecting a call?
No.
Thinking about making one? Don't make a big thing about leaving town.
What about this place?
We'll get someone to put in here.
It's gonna be a couple of days before I hear, you know?
I wouldn't take much longer.
There's some people I should tell that I'll be leaving.
You don't tell anyone you're leaving. Not even Blaine. Especially not Blaine. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be $1, please.
It says $1.95. Right here?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Come back.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
What's going on here?
Uh-huh. The young fella is feeding me.
So
Hey, you
I
want
can
something,
see.
honey?
I know, honey. You go sit down. I'll put the groceries away.
No, we can help.
I can do it faster myself.
Okay.
Hey, Pop, how come
What?
you're not having lunch with Ada?
I already had that. Oh, then I stopped in to see the patient.
Charlie, look, I'm not a patient.
Oh, I beg your whole pardon. I dropped in to see the chef, and he offered me this gourmet sandwich.
Did you close the store this afternoon?
No. Things are a little slow, so I guess the guys can handle without me for a while.
I'll pick up in September.
I certainly hope so. What did you do, buy out the store?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Hey, honey, did you, see Blaine today?
Yes.
Well, how is she?
Oh, that's hard to answer.
What's so hard about it?
Well, I think she's putting on a front.
What do you mean?
Well, she was trying to convince me that she's not all upset about our marriage breaking up, but I know that that's all an act.
Why would she be putting on an act for you?
That's what I couldn't figure out, Pop.
It's not an act, honey.
Yes, it is, honey.
Look, Blaine really doesn't care about it.
Larry, if you had seen her this afternoon, you wouldn't say that.
I don't need to see her. I mean, I know my sister better than she knows herself.
You're wrong, Larry. She is all torn up about losing Jerry.
No, she's torn up about being caught in a lie.
She was just trying to protect her marriage.
And she's trying to protect herself. She can't stay out of trouble, Clarice.
I think that there's something going on that she's not telling me, Larry.
Huh. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Larry, you have always tried to understand Blaine before.
Not this time.
But what do you think, Pop?
Oh, honey, I don't know enough about it to have a qualified opinion.
Well, Larry shouldn't give up on his sister. That means the conversation's over.
Oh, I just remembered, you got a special delivery letter today.
Special delivery?
Yeah, we put it in a safe place. Robert Delaney.
Well, why would he write me?
Huh? Oh, you wrote to him. You did mail the letter,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did.
Well, maybe you started something.
I'm not starting anything. Robert wrote to me first.
Well, you answered him.
Well, yes. I told him that I didn't want him to come to Bay City to see Corey. Is Corey in his room?
No, he's downstairs playing with Bruce Ackerman.
Good.
Well, what else did you tell Delaney?
I explained why we don't want him to see Corey. And I sent him some photographs so he could see Corey and so that he could know that he's all right.
Yeah, for all he cares.
Oh, come on, honey.
Well, why don't you just open the letter and find out what it's all about?
Ken Buck says he wants to come back to Bay City.
He says that he understands my position, but he doesn't totally agree with it.
Yeah? What else does he say?
Well, he says, it was generous of you to send photos of Corey. He looks like a happy, well-adjusted little boy.
Well, he is a happy, well-adjusted boy.
Does Corey attend nursery school, or does he stay home with you all day? You also mentioned that your husband is a policeman. Does Corey understand the dangers inherent in that job?
Well, what's his point? A cop's not supposed to have a kid?
Honey, I think he just wants to know how everything affects Corey.
Yeah, the guy ignores his kid for 5 years. He ought to be concerned about how that affects Corey.
Well, I should have mentioned it in the letter. Well, tonight or tomorrow.
Well, tonight or tomorrow, what?
Well, I write another letter to Robert.
What for?
Well, to explain more about Corey.
I don't see why you have to do that.
Well, honey, it's not a question of having to do it.
Well, then why bother?
I think that it's the right thing to do.
I don't think you ought to encourage him.
How am I encouraging him?
You're giving him an excuse to write back to you?
Well, I don't see what the harm is.
He's gonna start asking to see Corey again.
No, honey, he said that he understood about not seeing Corey.
Yeah, but he doesn't agree with your reasons for not seeing him.
Well, I don't see what difference that makes now.
Well, maybe none, and then again, maybe so.
I just think everybody's making too much out of this. I mean, what's important now in our lives is Blaine.
It's not to me.
Larry, you don't mean that.
Yeah, I do. I've had it with Blaine.
I went to the market.
You don't have to explain.
So why did you call?
I wanted to know when I can stop by and pick up my things.
Do you have someplace to take them?
Yeah.
Your mother's?
No, I got a room at the dorm.
Sounds expensive.
No, it's very reasonable.
I guess I better give you back your rent money then, huh?
What are you talking about?
The money that you paid for rent on this apartment.
Oh,
I think I can afford it a little bit better than you can.
we'll have to discuss finances at some point.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm most concerned with just getting my things moved out of there.
Well, anytime you're free.
I'll have to work it around my class schedule.
I understand.
What's your schedule like for the next couple of days?
I don't have any schedule.
Well, I don't want to just walk in on you.
I guess maybe you better call first then, huh?
Okay.
Jerry, does it really matter whether or not I'm here when you come for your things?
No, not at all.
Okay, then. So long. Bye. Oh, Jerry. What have I done to us? Oh, what are you doing here?
Well, now that we don't got your husband to worry about.
Just because he doesn't live here anymore doesn't mean you can just show up anytime you take a mind to.
We got to talk, Blaine.
I have nothing to say to you.
Well, I got plenty to say to you.
Then make it quick.
Jordan Scott stopped by to see me today, and he gave me an airplane ticket.
What for?
It seems I'm being transferred.
Where?
San Francisco.
When?
As soon as my parole officer gives me permission to leave Bay City.
So, Buzz, you're moving up in the organization.
No, I ain't. It's another lousy newsstand.
Oh, well, I hear that San Francisco's a very nice place to
I
live.
like Bay City just fine.
Did you tell Jordan that?
He don't care.
Oh, you might like San Francisco.
I might not go.
Oh, Buzz, come on. You better not start talking crazy.
Jordan thinks I'm dumb, but I know what he's up to.
He's just following orders.
They're his orders, Blaine.
How do you know that?
'Cause he's jealous. He's trying to break us up.
Oh, Buzz. There is no us.
There always has been, Blaine. From the first night we spent together on that ranch, and all the nights that followed.
It's over, Buzz. It's gone forever.
We can start over, baby. We can be happy again. Come on. What do you say?
I say, you're crazy.
Look, I got some dough. And I got a plane ticket we can trade in. Let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere. South America.
You're going to San Francisco. I'm staying right here.
Come on, baby. This is our big chance. If you just trust me, I swear we'll be safe.
I trusted you once. You turned on me.
It won't happen again.
No, it sure won't.
Look, I'll make all the plans.
I'm way ahead of you, Buzz. My plan is already in motion.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Another World.
What plan?
To get rid of you.
You lie.
Mm-mm. The reason Jordan Scott is sending you away is because I asked him to get you away from me.
You didn't.
I told you I would never forgive you for blackmailing me. I warned you, Buzz. I warned you I was going to get even with you. And Jordan is more than willing to help me.
Nobody double-crosses me, Blaine.
Doesn't feel too good, does it? Now you know what I went through all those months.
You'll never get away with it.
I think I already have.
You're into this operation up to your pretty little neck.
I'm working on my retirement plans. Getting rid of you was the first step.
I'll blow the whistle on you, baby.
No, you won't.
You watch me.
They'll throw the book at you.
Not if I make a deal.
With the DA. He's not going to make a deal with the two-time loser Buzz. You blow the whistle and you're going to end up in jail.
I'll rot in hell before that happens.
Hell or San Francisco. You got two choices, which is more than you ever gave me.
One of these days, I'm going to even the score with you, sister.
Don't you dare threaten me.
That ain't no threat. That's a promise.
Well, then maybe I'll just have to make it so you cannot deliver on that promise.
You talk real big for such a little girl.
Maybe I'll blow the whistle on you. Did you ever think of that?
Tell me all about it.
I bet the DA will make a deal with me. You'll spend the rest of your life in jail, Buzz. How does that sound to you, Buzz?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.